Busy is seen as a badge of honor. If you're busy doing things, it makes you feel like you're moving up. It makes you feel like you matter and that you have importance. But the truth is, we only care about being and looking important because we're thinking about what other people think of us. Ambition and the desire for more often stems from outside of us rather than from within. But there are ways to live slowly and continue cultivating our love for productivity and goal setting. It all comes down to balance.
Hey guys, it's me, Helena. I hope you're having the most magical day. I want to talk today about ambition and how to balance ambition and productivity with slow living, with living a slow, leisurely, simple, enjoyable lifestyle. We have to start out this video by saying that our definition of productivity is all wrong. Productive does not mean busy, staying busy, taking action constantly, because we can actually be productive without being busy, with living a slower lifestyle. I think it's very common for people to look at others who are living a slower life, a simpler life, who are choosing to cut back and do less with their lives. I think it's very easy to look at them and misidentify them as lazy or a simpleton or someone who doesn't want to improve their life or someone who doesn't want to work on themselves, someone who doesn't believe in hard work, dedication, and discipline. These are all things that I really value in my life. You can have ambition, but you also don't have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can have dreams, you can be proactive, you can be productive, but that doesn't mean you have to be busy all the time. You can choose a balanced approach to doing things, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the 5 ways that I'm able to maintain that balance of being productive, being ambitious, being a doer, but also being someone who does live a very slow, simple, frugal life. Here we go with my 5 ways to do that. Number 1, give yourself grace. Give yourself epic compassion for where you are right now in this current season of your life, how you're feeling, how you're doing mentally, physically, and adjust accordingly. Being in the middle of the pandemic, it's really easy to see how life has slowed down. Just because life has slowed down, it doesn't mean that you have to fill up your remaining time with projects or work activities. Know that you don't have to fill that up. You don't have to fill up your calendar with new things, new ideas, new projects, new hobbies. You don't have to do any of that. You can just rest. Which brings me to my second point. Resting is productive. Reading is productive. Spending time with your loved ones is so productive. Getting outside, taking a walk around your neighborhood, exercising, so productive. You do not need to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to be productive. That's just busy. You can move at a snail's pace. Take small steps every single day. This is how I approach my own life with my photography, my blogging, my videos, all the things that I love to do. I have one task, one action that I'd like to take each day, because I know that if I take one single step every single day, by the end of the year, I will have taken 365 steps in my year. That is amazing and worth celebrating. So know that you can break down your goals into small tasks, small actions, and just make it a goal to take one step every single day to further that goal. Whether you have a side hustle that you'd like to take part-time, or whether you have a hobby that you'd like to monetize, or you want to exercise more and you want to lose weight, take one small step every single day and don't worry about the finish line. Don't worry about the destination. Worry about enjoying the journey from here to there. It is really the middle part of that journey that we can really start feeling that appreciation and that gratitude for where we are. And we are here on earth to enjoy life. And so when you begin approaching your journey as enjoying the small steps that lead to the destination, the path that you want, that's when we can have more simple joys in our life journey and our goals. So fill your time with things that make you feel grateful, things that make you feel appreciative, things that make you notice the small wonders and pause and say, wow, life is good. I think snails are one of my favorite insects, animals, because They really remind me to slow down, to pause, and to enjoy the journey more. Every time I see a snail outside, I stop, I pause, ask my husband Alex. We will take 15-20 minutes just staring at the snail, taking pictures, hanging out with it, because I think snails are just a beautiful symbolic metaphor for life and how we can approach life. And so adopt a snail's pace and take one single step every single day. I encourage you to have productive days, not busy days. You can self-improve, you can work on yourself, you can set goals, you can, monitor your habits and see your progress. All of that is wonderful. I'm just saying, stop filling up your calendar and trying to be busy, because chances are you're probably not getting anywhere and you're probably miserable in the meanwhile. And again, the whole point of life is to enjoy it and to have fun. So treat it like an experiment and play as you are being productive. Another point to make with this is do not rush the process. One of the best habits to cultivate when living slower is patience. Instead of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, walk steady and water your garden. Each new day, a new brick is being laid. Look at your life as a foundation. What is your foundation? What are you planting each day that will bloom later on? Present and taking one small step each day and enjoying the process is a happier alternative to living life. Number 3, make sure that you are chasing ambition and productivity for the right reasons. This is where we need to put energetic boundaries into place. Examine everything that you're consuming and ask yourself, is this where I want to give my energy? Is this the kind of energy that I want to consume and take into my life? Start with something small. Start with anything in your everyday life that just jumps out at you. And then look back at your values and ask yourself, is there anything that you are consuming mindlessly without thinking? When you make decisions and you start taking action on that which aligns with your core values, you are showing up for yourself. You are taking care of yourself. You are loving yourself. You are celebrating yourself. Let's say that you are starting your day, whether you're a homemaker or you're working a 9 to 5 or you have your own small business, whatever it is, look at all the options of the things that you have to do that day and ask yourself, how do these options align with my core values? This is the easiest way to be quickly guided to the decision or the action step to take. Look at the things in your life, and if they don't align with the values or the core desired feelings that you have. For example, some of my core desired feelings, my values are simplicity, freedom, joy, playfulness, open self-expression. These are my core values. And so when I am productive, when I am feeling ambitious, when I am feeling like I want to do things and get things done, I notice that I'm feeling low, that I'm lacking energy, that I'm lacking motivation, that I'm feeling really down, I ask myself these questions. How is this aligning with my values? Because if they're not aligning with what I hold to be true, with my core values and how I want to live my life, I will cut those things out. Are your daily habits helping or hindering your happiness? I am such a big believer in that the small tasks, the small things in our everyday can really impact, influence, and change our life. And so when we start tweaking and adjusting those small habits that we day, our thoughts, our beliefs, when we start questioning things and going back to the core of who we are, does this align with my values? Looking big picture, does this align with how I want to live my existence on earth? When we want to balance being ambitious with living a slower, more joyful life, we have to look big picture. We have to look from a bird's eye perspective. Does this really make me happy? Does living a busy life of more and excess hinder my happiness when what I really value and enjoy is simplicity and living a simpler life? Leads us straight into step number 4, which is cut it out. Cut out the things that aren't essential. Cut out the things that aren't vital to your well-being. I'm so passionate about this if you can't already tell. What are the tasks? What are the simple errands, the action steps, the goals, the social events, the jobs? What are those things that are sucking your life force out of you? Cut it out. It's gonna feel hard. You're gonna feel, it's gonna feel hard. It's gonna feel like ripping a Band-Aid off, but you know what? sometimes for true joy, for living with your values, those are things you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to cut off the things that don't lift you up and light your spirits. One of the best ways to do that, which if you've seen in my previous video on slow living habits and essential mindsets, which I will link up in a card as well as in the description box, but don't turn your want tos into have tos. I have to go to this social event. I have to be there for my friend to do this thing because she did it for me last time. I have to show up for my boss and take that extra responsibility even though it's not really what I value and what I really want for my life. Don't turn those want tos into have tos. Maybe you want to do something, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. When we put that extra pressure on ourselves to have to do something, that is so overwhelming and stressful. And as someone that doesn't like extra on my plate, that is just like, ooh, no. Cut it back. Don't turn your want tos into have tos. Start noticing your language. Start noticing how you're saying, I have to do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just be and enjoy life and want to do something and not have to do something. I challenge you, my friend, to write a list. Compile a list of all the things that you're doing in a week. While you're looking over the list, ask yourself, do these things match what is important to me right now? Not next year, not last year, not even last week. Does this align with what I want right now, right in this very present moment? Cross them out. Cross out anything that doesn't align with what you want right now. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Don't think about what your past self wanted last year. What do you want now? Chances are what you want and desire now is probably different from what you wanted a year ago. So it's important to make a list and just keep yourself accountable. Get a journal. But as I mentioned in my previous video, which I will include up here in the description box on stop chasing success and to forget about hustling, is that the doing level of success, the doing level of taking action will lead to burnout eventually. And there's the doing level and then there's the having level. And we have to remember that we want to just be. We don't want to do and we don't want to have. So I really recommend watching that video if you are a doer like I am. If you struggle with this, watch my other video because that perspective and that way of thinking has really transformed my approach to life and my approach to, doing things and getting stuff done. And I no longer chase doing because it actually has led me to burnout and unfulfillment and just personal unhappiness. So I recommend checking out that video if you haven't watched it already. Imagine this. Suddenly, no one else's opinion of you matters. Suddenly, you can't know or won't know what anyone thinks about you. Imagine that weight being lifted. How would you live your life? How would you think and feel? Suddenly, no one's opinions matter anymore. Just yours. Living your remaining days on earth. Would you still be busy? Would you still be chasing after things? Would you still be chasing ambition, chasing that doing level of success? Chances are probably not. When I imagine my life and then I take out all the noise, I just take it all out. When I take away all that stuff, life feels happier, life feels lighter. And when I think about that, I ask myself, how would I spend my remaining days on earth? And to be honest, I would be doing the simplest things. I was surprised to see that all the things I wrote down are all things that are very simple. Things like cuddling with a cat and hearing its purrs in my ear. Oh, it's my favorite sound in the world is purring cats. Oh my goodness. Going underwater and swimming in the sea. Writing in my journal, writing a creative story just for me, not for anyone else, just for me. Reading books, just spend the whole day reading books outside. I'd go outside and I'd watch the squirrels, I'd watch the birds, I'd watch nature move around me, thinking big picture. That's what I'd be doing. And all those things are things that anyone can do. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a six-figure girl boss. You don't have to have or do a lot of things. It's important to look at the simple things in your life that bring you happiness and taking away that expectation, taking away that weight. How would you spend your day if no one's opinion mattered? If no one's expectations of you, of society's expectations of you, if none of that mattered, how would you spend your day? What would you be doing? And as a result, how would you be feeling? Which is even more important. So as you're watching this and you're thinking about all this, I encourage you to look at your tasks for tomorrow or today if you're watching this in the morning, and look at the things that you're doing today and ask yourself, is this necessary? What is something that I can say no to today or tomorrow that will bring me more happiness? So there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed these 5 simple but very important ways that I am able to balance my ambition, my productivity, with living a slow, simple, and enjoyable life. And I hope that this video inspires you and uplifts you to take charge of your life, and that you can indeed balance ambition and productivity with a slower life. But you don't need to be busy, and you don't need to fill all your extra time up with lots of things just because we're in the middle of a pandemic, or that, you know, life is slower right now. I feel very positive and excited and hopeful for the future of a slower life for a lot of people. I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Your comments, your likes, your subscribes, sharing my videos, it really helps to support, get these videos, these ideas, and most importantly, these messages to more people. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you are having a magical day, my friends, and I will see you next week here on The Simple Choice.